Now what I'm doing is I'm going with the another topic which is called as key data page. So in key data page, how it what is the importance of key data page and all we will see. Okay, so for that, um, what I want to tell you is basically what is why we are going with the key data pages and parameter page, parameterized page. We will check for that. What is that? Okay, so assume that you have certain data in your database. Okay, so in your table, some, so like I'll take EMP ID, EMP name, EMP ID E01, E002, EMP name. Okay, so assume that this is the table which is there in your DB. So in your application, what you have to do, for example, you have an application where you have to retrieve one record. Out of this, you have to retrieve one record. Okay, so if I want to retrieve one record, I definitely need one value, right? Like for example, if I'm talking about employee name, then if I say Mike, all Mike details should come in the next in this screen, like saying that, yeah, Mike E001 manager. So basically we will work like this. So to get this, what we use a data page. So this data page will go to DB table and retrieves the data and sends back to this. All the data is sent back to this. So what I'm sending here, I'm sending Mike over here. Okay, when I send Mike, so it takes same this request to this one. Okay, now it sends the output as what? It sends output as E001 comma Mike comma manager. So this is what your V page will send the result, right? This is what happens when you do when you work on data page. But every time you cannot create. See, this data page is for what? This data page is to retrieve Mike. Okay, this is for Mike. But for example, I want to retrieve Anil. Then Anil, again I need to write another data page, which will only retrieve Anil's data. So this is actually not a right one, right? Because if there are some 10,000 records, you cannot go and write 10,000 data pages, right? Instead, what you do is you will send this Mike as a param value, param dot name, so that whenever you send Mike, it will send Mike details. If you want Anil's details, Anil details will come. If you want Alex details will come. So this parameter will be sent to the data page. Now in this data page, it won't be like Mike. It will be what? It would be like param dot name data page. That is parameterized data page. So based on the parameter, your data would be retrieved. If it is Mike, it will retrieve Mike's. If it is Anil, it will retrieve Anil's data. If it is Alex, Alex data. Only one data page based on the parameter is getting retrieved. But what actually your data page is doing with respect to the data page is doing with respect to the database. So whenever it is Mike, it has to hit your DB and get the details of Mike, right? And whenever if you want to call Anil here, second time you want to do Anil, okay, if it is Anil, again you will be sending the data. Only one data page here it is. Okay, so don't think that it is two data pages, only one data page. But now it is calling Anil's data. So whenever it is Anil's data, then this data will be going off and your Anil's data will be coming into the picture. Anil page here. So you will be sending this. This is second time. Okay, so this is second time. So now we don't have this one. Now it will, as it is retrieving Anil's data, now this one will be what? It would be Anil's data. So what did you understand by this? Whenever the parameter is getting changed, then your DB is going and hitting your database. Your D page is going and hitting the database. Okay, so first time, second time. So if there are 10,000 times you are changing, then 10,000 times your data page is going and hitting your what? Going and hitting your database, which will decrease the performance. Hitting always DB will decrease the performance. So to avoid that, what we are doing is we are going with the keyed data page. A key data page is applicable only for a page list or a page list structure data page. The structure which is having page list, for that only you have you can use what? You can use keyed data page. Okay. So if it is page, then there would be no key data page. This is what happens. So whenever it is keyed data page, whatever the key you send or whatever the identifier you send, whether it is Anil or Mike or Alex, all the details, whatever the details you have there in your DB, that would be copied into your D page. Okay, only first time it will go and hit your DB, and whatever the columns which are there in your DB, all will be copied into this. Into what? Into your D page. All the things. Now here, if I send Anil, then from here it will take Anil and give it back to your application. And when I will write, now there is no parameter now. You don't write any parameter. Okay, so based on the input Anil. So because your data page has, data page is written as keyed access data page, then this Anil will be taken by your data in your data page. So it checks with the key, whatever the key which is having over here, and gives the data to your application. Okay, so now what is advantage over here means hitting the database is reduced here. So that is why the performance will increase when you use keyed data page. Okay, so in another way, if it is a normal parameterized data page, every time it will go to database and copies that into clipboard. From clipboard you'll get the data. Okay, every time it has to go to your database. But if it is a keyed data page, first time it will check and all the data will be coming into your clipboard. From second time onwards, whatever the changes whatever the value you are changing, that will be coming from your clipboard instead of database. That is the advantage of using keyed data page. Okay, so let's see any key data how a key data page will be shown here. So for example, if there is a department over here, I'll show you two things. One is a single data page. This is our single data page, and this is a list data page. As I said, you right, single data page cannot have key data page. So if you see right side, there is a keyed page access. So this is the keyed data page access pattern we say. So but if you go to the page, can you see page structure? So this is not there. Okay, so you will be using this in your application. So how do you use? You'll be selecting this access pages with user defined keys, and here you will be adding the key. Like this you will be adding. So now based on the department name, data would be coming and fetching into your application. Okay, so this is what we do it, how we do it. Okay, so now how is this worked? Okay, how it is worked, we'll see. Yeah, so now what I do is I'll show you both the things as an example. Yeah, so we changed one thing yesterday, so that's the reason it is showing the error. Okay, so yeah, this has some validation here, so that's the reason it was showing an error. So yeah, so now we will use this. mm, yeah, I'll take this one as example over here, calculation, and I'll do it. I want to search a department, so for that I give department name. I don't want to do from this one, so because most of the times you will not use uh, what case type. You will not use case type, so go to App Explorer. So in this I want to do an extra stage, right? So I'll go to calculation, process, case type, py default. So we have to open this py default. So in this py default we have to create our create our state. So let it be like this. So first, what do you want? You want a section, or you want properties. So let's create properties. So how to create properties? I want two properties. My requirement is what? Whenever I search for a department, it should show me all the department details. Okay. uh, or else what shall we do? My requirement, what is there in department actually? Yeah, my requirement is whenever I select any department ID, it should show me what is the department name and who is the manager for the department. Okay, so that is my requirement. So for that, I need two properties. I need two properties. So for that, what I do, I'll go to App Explorer, right click, calculation, create data model property. So one is department name. So I give department name. It should provide me department ID and as well as department head. Okay, so created. There should be a drop down. This should be a drop down. So I will change this. This should be a drop down, means text is text only. So here instead of px text input, I will go for drop down. Okay, so from here itself I can go for a D page. So can you see D page here? Yes, D page, because my data is available in D page only. So what is the class instance? In which class it is there? It is there in the department. I think I deleted again. So it's there in department. So I like class name AMB hyphen Hyderabad hyphen sale hyphen department. What is the data D page? So this is a list, because list only it will come. Yeah, so what value you want? I want department ID, but actually I want to display the department name. See, based on ID I will take, but I want department name to be shown on the screen. Okay, so you can change, either you can write department ID over here or else department name also, anything is fine. So save. So I am calling the page in property itself. Okay, so one property is created. Another property is a single page property. Okay, so data model property, department details is my single page property. Okay, so create and open. It's a single page property, single page. I want to yes. So I'll go for copy data from data page. Which data page? Department. So it is asking department ID. So I have my property, right? That property I will use. What is my property name? Depart. If I give 101 here, what happens? Every time it will give me 101 only. So I don't want to do 101 always. I want to provide the property which I created now. So it is department name. Yeah, based on department name, it should give. Spelling I gave wrong. Okay. Okay, wrong spelling. That's why it is showing error. Okay, so this is the okay. So two properties I created. So now what should I do? I should call those two properties in my section. So let me create a section. So this is how you do actually without using your case type. Okay, so sysadmin section. So what is that? Search department. Create and open. So you have created, this one will be your section. So here convert section item. So drop your property. You can directly drop your property from here. Department name. Okay, that is what. Another one is department details. So you have to drop this department details also. Okay. So whenever you drop department details, it's not a whenever you drop department details, what happens is it is not a single value property. Only single value properties can be dropped. Okay, you cannot drop a page mode properties into section. Okay, so that way it was showing you error. Search department. So you cannot drop, as I said, it cannot be dropped. So then what you have to do? You have to embed the section. Whenever it is a page property one, you have to embed the section. Okay, section, not session, section. Embed the section. Before you embed the section, that section should be available in your data class. That is in your department. So do you have any section available in your thing? In your department? Yeah, department ID is there, department name is there, department manager. So I have to embed this session into. If it is not there, please create a section in department. Okay, as I have it, so I will embed this. So, embedding the section. So which section? Is it based on page context or clipboard page or a data page or page defined by a property? So for us, it is based on the clipboard page. So in which class it is? Actually, it is there in data dash department. So what is your clipboard page? That means the page property which you created, that should be shown here. Okay, so department areas. Which section you want to show in that? I want to show this add data. See, add data used for something else, but it is using. I can now use that add data for my section here. Here also I can use it. So that is what we say it as reusability. That's why what Pega suggests you is wherever you have properties, means in which class properties exist, create section in that property only so that you can reuse them. So that is what I am doing here. I am reusing it. So save. Okay. Yeah. So before saving, what I do is I'll do some action refresh on my department name, because you know, based on this only I should retrieve this data, right? So go to action, create an action set. So whenever there is a change, add an action, refresh. Okay. So we got section now. So once the section is there, you have to create. You have to create what? Flow action. So let's create flow action. So before creating flow action, I'll create a flow. Okay. That will also help us. Okay. So create process flow. So my flow name is search employee. This is also search employee. Sorry, search department. Okay. So create a method. I mean, I'm telling you how to create a flow action from this. Okay. So this is your assignment shape. On the outgoing connector of your assignment shape, you can create your flow action. So open this search department flow action. It is not available, so open or use it. We have a section, so let's use that section. So this is how you can create your flow action also. So two ways, using flow, there I created, or else directly you can clear flow action and you can call that flow action here in your flow. So now I want this as one another stage, new stage. So I will go to py default here. So in my py default, okay, let me discard this. Okay, all gone. Okay, fine. So what I'm talking about, yeah, I want this in a my case type, right, as a stage. So what I do, I will go to this calculation process case type, open py default, checkout. So I'll go to stage. Here I will add another stage. So my stage name is search department. Okay, so what is your process? So not option process. What is your process? You can you can add a process over here. Add a process. So here process name is what? Search department. See, that's it. Mm, save. Yeah. Okay, check it. So if you go and see in your case types calculation, you can see this stage is created for you. So instead of without using your case type, I'm you working on the case life cycle. Okay, without using a case life cycle only I added, because I have done everything using the id file. So let's create and check. Let's create and check the output. Okay, I think this will throw an error because without giving data I can't move forward. Okay, um, let me first close up my service is connect soap is failing, so I'll just remove that fail post processing. Okay, this is getting failed. So let's create case. Yeah, can you see now? So whenever I'm changing it, it is getting uh, you know it is getting reflected there, even though I call department name, even though in the backend. So when you go to clipboard, see, it won't be HR, it would be the department ID, because in my application I clearly mentioned that I want department ID. See, department ID, but on the display you on the screen you should display department name. So that's why, see, it is 102. Department name is your property is staying as department name, but value is taking department ID, because in your property, if you go to your property, so what did you selected there? You said here, right? Property value is always department ID, but the display, whatever you display is, you display name there. So in that way, it is set. Okay. But what is happening in the back end? That is very important, because we are talking about keyed access pattern, right? So what is happening in the back end? So for that, if you go to the clipboard and see how the data is in your department thing. Can you see? This is your department thing. Okay. So you got what? Only one record you got. Anyways, because it is one record. But coming to the data page, if you go and see in your data page, see, only one record got retrieved. If you change your department ID now here, okay, if you change this department ID here, then what happens? Department change, if you change, what happens? It will show you 103 record. If the department ID is 101, then it will show you 101. So it will go and hit your DB and get back the data. So that is the problem with parameterized data page. Okay. So now instead what I do is I won't use parameterized. Instead I will use key data page. So for that I'll create uh, a new what is it? New data page I'll create. Okay. So it'll throw an error. Okay, so let me create new data page. It is what? Search department. Okay. It will open. Okay, so now here I'll use key data page. So in a key data page, you have to provide the key. So what is that key? You can provide department ID over here. Okay, so I provide department. That means what? Whenever you run this, it will give you, even though you provided key, it will give you all the records. It won't ever provide you one record, it provides all records. So from that it will check this department IDs, this department ID is available or not, and based on that it will throw you the output. Okay, so now what I do is, got it, keyed page access. So in keyed page access it will retrieve what? All the records which are there in DB. But if it is parameterized, only one record will be retrieved by DB, right? Only one record it is sent. Okay, so now what I do, as I created one property, right? So this department details, instead of calling this data page, I'll call this search data page. Now I'll call what? I'll call search department. Check out. Okay, now here I'll take department. So you have already seen clipboard how it looks. Now let's create a case and work upon it. Just go to clipboard, go to data pages, go to thread, okay, I think it's not yet, it didn't refresh, so let me create a case. Okay, now go to clipboard. Can you see search department here, and expand this CPX results? Can you see how many are there now? 4 are there. But how this has been retrieved? Go to PO workbench, see your department details. Can you see? Is there any change in your PA workbench? Means no, nothing. In your PA workbench, it is showing as is, as what you have seen in your parameterized one. But only the difference here you saw is, now all the records which are there in your DB have been placed into your PX, placed into your what? Placed into your D page. Okay, now from next time onwards, if you even change the department name, it will never go and hit the DB. Instead, it will go and hit your data page. That means in your clipboard only. So that is the advantage. So difference between parameterized data page and keyed data page. Okay, so what is the difference? In a parameterized data page, if you change the parameter, your D page will go and hit the database and retrieves the result. But coming to the keyed data access or keyed data page, first time when you send the data, your D page will retrieve all the records which are there in your DB, and from there, based upon your request, it will provide you the result. Okay, first it retrieves and keep it in your D page. or clipboard, and then from there only it will give you the output. So that is the difference. Okay, so I think this will properly explain you the the output, I mean the speciality of key database, right? Or this is also right. Once you do it, whether it is Anil or Mike, anything, first it will get all the things into your DB now. So now it will go to your DB now. So based on the key you give, that particular record is sent. So this key, based on that, it will send you the record. Okay, that's about keyed data page.